And welcome to another edition of Ducks No Sports. And this week we're previewing the NL and AL Championship Series. Should be good with some interesting matchups. You know, first round of baseball playoffs very interesting with a few surprises along the way. As my World Series pick, the Cincinnati Reds are going home as they had 2-0 lead on the Giants, but could not hold off the Giants as the Giants look to be for real this year. They look like to be the team they were a couple years ago when they won that World Series. But we can't live in the past, and we, like everything in life, we have to move forward. And we'll start with Championship Series. We'll start with the AL Championship Series, which is the New York Yankees taking on the Detroit Tigers. Very interesting. Start with the Yankees. Yankees made a controversial move, some would say, in the first round, as they benched A-Rod in Game 5 against the Orioles. Very interesting. You know, A-Rod once one of the best players in baseball, but has fallen off the last couple of years. Not the same players he used to be. Not hitting the jacks out of the park as he was a couple of years ago. When he looked like he was going to shatter Barry Bonds' home run record. Maybe won't happen this year because he is not hitting the park. And interesting story, because there's just something not right about the New York Yankees. Are they a good team? Yes. Obviously, they're one series away from going to the World Series. Of course, they're a good team, but there's just something not right. That pitching staff is pretty thin. After you get past CC, very thin pitching staff. Their bullpen, very kind of shaky. You know, it's kind of a miracle they've made it this far. And their lineup, you know, they can still hit out of the park, but you just can't depend on guys like Jeter to do it all the time. I mean, they depend a lot on a few players in that lineup, and that's why I think New York Yankees are in trouble, because they're playing a Detroit Tigers team who last year I think learned a lot by losing to the Rangers in the ALCS. I think they learned a lot about themselves. I mean, and let's face it, the Detroit Tigers is just a way better team than the New York Yankees right now. I mean, this pitching staff is just is good. I mean, Verlander seems to go 9 innings every time out. He's slowly but surely become the best pitcher in baseball. Really like Justin Verlander to continue that. I mean, his first game 1 against the A's, put up like 7 Ks. Were like ridiculous. I think it was even more. I think it was like 11 Ks actually. It was like ridiculous. How like this guy is just the best pitcher in baseball. There's no doubt about it. And other guys like Fister also good, and they can, like some Tigers from last year, because they have a lot more power. Cabrera is one of the best players in baseball this year. You still have Prince Fielder, who is still a home run threat every time he's up at the plate, and that's why I just love the Detroit Tigers. I just think with their power, the mix of power, and their great pitching staff, and a great bullpen, I think is the recipe for success. And that's why I think Detroit Tigers knock off the Yankees in 6 games. Okay, moving to the NLCS. Should be interesting because our last 2 World Series champs going head-to-head. As the 2010 champs, San Francisco Giants, coming off a very impressive comeback series win against the Reds, takes on the 2011 World Series champions, St. Louis Cardinals, who just do not die, do they? They just do not die. We'll start with the Giants here. Very impressive. Them in the first round. I mean, they got down early in the series. It was looking like a sweep. Let's be honest. It was looking like the Reds were just going to walk all over them, but it didn't happen, and it came back against a very good Cincinnati Reds team. And this team is really starting to come together right now. And I really like what I'm seeing. I mean, this pitching staff is better than we thought, and this hitting, they seem to get enough. Hitting to get it done. And they're gelling right now. Their bullpen seems to be unstoppable. Seems if they get to the 7th inning and they put their bullpen, it seems like it's a guaranteed win, because their bullpen is really good, and they seem to win a lot of games late, which is very interesting. And they're playing a team in the St. Louis Cardinals, coming off a very impressive win as they kept down the red-hot Washington Nationals, as they showed them why experience does matter in the playoffs. And a team who, let's face it, Game 5 were down, early in that game, down by 3 runs early. I think after the first inning, down 4 runs and they came back to win that game. Very, very impressive. Shows their leadership, and shows that, hey, maybe they don't miss Albert Pujols as much as people think they do. And this will be a very interesting series because two teams coming off comeback wins a series in their respective series, and I just think there's just something special going in San Francisco right now. They look like to be the team they were a couple years ago when they won the World Series. That's why I like the San Francisco Giants to beat the St. Louis Cardinals in 7 games. I think this will go the distance, but the San Francisco Giants will come out on top. That will be our World Series. It will be the Tigers and the Giants. If that happens, it should be a very, very good World Series. But till next time, I'm Joshua saying I'm Ducks, and I know sports. Kind of.